Alrighty, guys. Sorry that took me a second. I was trying to help Rochelle find the TV remote so she could watch the stream on her TV. Um, Anyways, how's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are all doing well. We are on here. I originally was not actually going to get on here until later on tonight, but we had a couple tornado warnings pop up. So we've got one little tornado warning that's still left up here into portions of Kansas, and this is actually going to expire literally in 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here for just a minute. We're going to talk overall what's happening today. I will let you guys know I'm not going to do a breakdown of tomorrow. Actually, we'll talk tomorrow about tomorrow and Wednesday, or Wednesday. We'll talk about tomorrow and Friday in a nutshell. I'll talk about Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday here in a little bit on the stream. I don't know how long we're going to be on here today. I wanted to wait and do a stream, tried to wait to do a stream until later on tonight. That way we could get more information out to you guys, but it's fine. We've got severe weather coverage to do today. So we've got some watches out here. We're on over those here in a minute. I will let you guys know the Storm Prediction Center website, where it keeps all of our outlooks and everything. It's been slow. It's really, really slow. I don't know what's going on with it. It's been like this since yesterday. I don't know if it's because our lovely government decided to budget cut it, or if we're seeing the impacts or not on that yet, but it is slow. It is really, really slow. It might be that, or it might just be they're slow today. I don't know what's going on, but it's been doing it since yesterday. So just kind of bear with me with some of the graphics today. It might be a little bit slower than what we're used to having speed-wise. So it is what it is at that point. Yeah, we'll talk about next week here in a little bit. If y'all watched my video today, I know some of y'all are concerned. I saw some of y'all messages in the comment section on the video, so I'm going to talk about that later on in stream here. Yeah, the SPC it's been crashing. It's been crashing for really about 48 hours now. So let's try and give this a whirl here and see what we can do. Let me pull up our lovely display screen here. We also are going to see if we can get some cameras up here as well with some of these storms today. We've got multiple severe thunderstorm watches that have been issued across the Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas panhandle areas here. I'm going to start out with our oldest watch. This is out until 10 p.m. Central Time down here for the same areas that we actually covered yesterday. Midland, we've got Odessa's in that as well. Sanderson, this is down here towards basically southwest Texas until 10 p.m. Central Time. We've got the threat for some large hail and damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, large hail up to 2.5 inches in diameter. So we're not really expecting a tornado really to evolve down here. You never can rule it out when you have severe weather, but I'm not expecting anything in terms of significant tornado potential in terms of that right now. Let me see here. Guys, we may have to reset the TikTok stream in just a second if... Hold on, I had a freaking unoriginal content violation again. It does this every time I don't start my stream within the 3-minute period. It does this. Rochelle. We may have to restart TikTok stream here in a second if this does not go through. Bear with me, guys. It's a TikTok thing. They do this. It's so weird. I hate that they do this. It's like if you're not doing something interactive within the first 5 minutes of your live stream, they pull it off the For You page and they're like, yeah, we're gonna take you off because you're not doing anything. Literally, we are. So let's see if that goes through real quick. If not, we'll reset the TikTok stream. Make sure you guys are subbed to me over on YT. That's YouTube. We don't have to reset that stream. There's no issues with that. So if y'all want to head over to YouTube, you guys can. Mesomat on their links in my bio. That way we can reset the stream here in a second if we need to. Like I said, severe thunderstorm watch here for southwestern portions of Texas. Not expecting too much out of that. That's out till 10 p.m. Central Time. One of the newer watches that came out about an hour or so ago. You guys can see the Storm Prediction Center is taking absolutely forever to load. A lot of reasons on that one. Lots of reasons on that. Sirens are going off in Topeka, Kansas. You guys have a severe thunderstorm warning up there. There was a tornado warning to the north of you guys a little bit ago, but that did expire. So... I'll get to questions here in just a second. I'm trying to make sure that this is gonna work real quickly here. Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas, you guys are getting your storm right now. This is the newest severe thunderstorm watch. Western Kansas, eastern portions of, or not the newest, this is the second newest severe thunderstorm watch. This is out till 11 p.m. Central Time. We've got Western Kansas, eastern Nebraska here. Low end tornado risk, tornado 2 possible, damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, and 2.5 inch diameter hail. We've already seen hail up to 3 inches in diameter in this watch box today, so we're already maximizing the hail threat out in the watch box for this evening. And then the watch that just came through, this is for the Texas Panhandle and northwestern Panhandle of Oklahoma here. We've got got Lubbock all the way up to Amarillo here. This is out until midnight Central Time. We've got the threat for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, 2-inch hail, and a tornado or two is possible. So you guys get the same thing as yesterday. Looking at more of a wind and hail threat once again, 2% and 5% tornado risk. So we do have an elevated tornado risk for today. I did mention that earlier in my video on TikTok this afternoon that we had a 5% in place. So a little bit higher than yesterday, a little bit smaller area, but more concentrated. So we'll have to see what happens with this. And then that small 2% down in the Fort Stockton area. But this is going to be the main area that we've seen. We've already seen actually a brief spin-up tornado in that area this afternoon. So not accustomed to not seeing tornadoes in this area. Just be mindful, have a way to get alerts on your phones once we call these out. Wind threat 15 and 5% there, and we've also got a 5% along the East Coast there. We haven't seen too much storm activity down on the East Coast at all. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on that if things change with that there. But yeah, 15 and 5% there for winds up to 60 to 70 miles per hour. And then the hatched hail risk. So in my video, this was not updated. They updated this at 3 p.m., but they did hatch the hail risk here for up to 2.75-inch diameter hail. So we'll keep you guys updated on the hail situation there. We'll talk more about our rest of our risk zones here in a little bit. I'm going to see if we've got an update on model runs. Yeah, just lots of convection, especially through the overnight hours tonight. We'll have lots of storms ongoing. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here to what we're looking at. Let's see. Let's zoom in here and look at these storms. We've got a lot of storms up here into Kansas right now and extreme southern, or not extreme southern Nebraska. We will have storms in southern Nebraska later on this evening. I believe most of these are for 1.5-inch hail, 1.25-inch hail. Yeah, so go figure. The second we get on here, everything stops working, right? It's typically how that happens. Most times not. All right, I'm waiting on a notification from TikTok to see if we have to restart our stream. You know what, guys? We're just going to go ahead. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and restart our stream on TikTok. I'll be back here in just a second with you guys. If you guys are on YouTube, hang on just a minute for me. Give me 2.5 seconds here. All right, sorry guys, I'm back here. Let me reset TikTok real quick. Let's get back on here. If you are on YouTube, I do appreciate you guys for watching. Very, very, very much. No, Nicole, I had to reset it. I had to reset it. Alrighty, guys, welcome back here. Sorry about that. That took a few minutes there. Welcome back, y'all. Okie dokies, okie dokie. Let me get back into this here. Let me get a couple of things pulled up. We'll leave the radar up here so you guys can see all the storms we've got going on here. All of these storms are for 1 to 2 inch diameter hail right now. We do have some storms that are starting to fire off down here in Texas and western portions of Oklahoma. No new watches, no. The watches come out every couple of hours if they need to. We kind of got this gap between Midland and Lubbock, which is interesting to me, too. I don't know why we don't have a watch down there, or extension down there, which is interesting to me. So, yeah, Kansas, western Kansas has all these storms, lots of severe thunderstorm warnings. We had almost a confirmed tornado earlier at one point with this, but that did not end up happening. Thank you guys for coming back in. I appreciate y'all. Let me see if I can get some camera action up in here. Let me see what we've got to work with here. Bear with me here, y'all. Let's see here. If you guys will tap that screen for me, please, I do appreciate it very, 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 very much. Where's those warnings at? They're in northern Kansas, I believe. Correct. Let me double check here and see. So that's Scott City. Let's see if we can get a camera pulled up for up there. Ah, those aren't working. Gross. None of them work up here. That's boring. That's boring. No, we're not going to get a tornado watch today, guys. Not enough. They felt the need to issue a severe thunderstorm watch instead of a tornado watch, so that's why. Oh, it's raining up there. Okay, so we do have a couple here that we can look at. That camera's shaking. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can get in front of these cells. Let's go up here to Oakley. No, let's do this. Sorry, guys, I'm talking to myself, so bear with me. Yeah, it just rained in this area. Love the camera quality that we're getting. No, Tennessee's not going to see anything today. Maybe a general thunderstorm. That's about it. The Kansas highways are so, like, blank and boring. There's not much. All right, let's see if we've got any 2-inch diameter hail warning. So 1 inch down in Tribune, Kansas, Oakley, and Grainfield. This is along Interstate 70 here between Sharon Springs and Grainfield, Kansas. We've got 1-inch hail on both of these cells. 1.5-inch hail. Yeah, none of these are producing significant hail right now, at least in terms of 2+ inches. Oh, we do have a 2-inch hailstorm down here in north of Pecos. Oh, wow. Look at that thing, guys. Wow. Guys, please don't spam the stream. You'll get muted. Nashville, Tennessee is fine. Wow, so they've got a 4-inch diameter hail detection in the middle of this thing. How about that? So we don't know if it's actually producing 4-inch hail or not, but they've got the software here has its way of let's just say its way of over dramatizing hail sometimes. That would be grapefruit size hail if that was legit. Yeah, that would be grapefruit size hail. Grapefruit is 4-inch. Apple size is 3-inch. So, like I said, storm motion today is going to be interesting. You guys can kind of see here how we've got like storms that are going one direction and storms that are going another direction. Let me pull this back up here. There we go. Yeah, you guys can see how we've got like storms going different directions here. So we've got this severe thunderstorm warning north of Pecos going north, and we've got this one going south. There's just not a lot of directional shear to give us one big giant storm motion. These storms are going to be all over the place. So that's basically what we're seeing happen is just difference in storm motion today. So we're going to watch that storm. Let's check this one out here just outside of Amarillo. Let's see what this one's doing. This does not have... Ooh, this is by itself. Yeah, that's going to get severe warned soon. That's going to be headed into Amarillo. Let's go back up here. We've got some potential major rotation in Garden City. Did they tore past that? No. Most of the action is up here in northwestern Kansas, as we're expecting. This is where the 2 and the 5% tornado risk is at for today. Yeah, there's not rotation on the storm. I don't know what that indicator was showing. Now, this could produce a tornado in a little bit if it starts to produce an outflow boundary. Definitely possible. Yeah, these storms are just producing outflow boundaries. We did at one point, guys, have a strong tornado, or a strong tornado, but a strong area of rotation a little bit ago. Quite unique. I don't know if it'll let me play it all the way back. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, that was the storm. Let me go up into our loop here and see if we can find it. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyways, but this was the storm that was tornado warned in Oakley. This kid came out of Russell Springs and Winona and went northeast. So, like I said, currently, guys, no tornado warnings right now. Just severe thunderstorm warnings for wind and for hail. Oh, I do have some news. Rochelle mentioned me to ask this for you guys to see. I do have some exciting news that we do have to run over here, guys. For any of y'all that do not know, we did have merch about, well, this was around last year. We had merch out at one point. We do have merch that is going to be rolling out, guys, here potentially by Saturday. So super, super exciting. How many of y'all in chat want merch? I'm just curious. I'm very curious. I need to see who wants and what y'all want and who wants it. Ro, if you're watching stream, Juniper merch is something that we do need. That is what I meant to mention to you as well. All right, guys. So if you guys go to my official website, it is linked in my bio on both platforms, mesomatwx.com. This is the official website that Rochelle has took time of effort making a long time ago. You've got all the tabs up here. You guys can see this. If you have not checked out my official website, please do that. What you're going to do is you're going to go to MesomatWX merch. We are potentially going to be rolling this out on Saturday, Friday or Saturday. We're waiting for a couple samples of stuff to come in to make sure that we like what we've got. But Rochelle has done nothing. Guys, this is all Rochelle. She has done the one that's made all the merch for me. So she is the one that gets all the credit. She deserves everything. Make sure y'all give her some lovin's once you guys buy this stuff. You guys can go to the Mesomat link here, the merch link here, and you can type in your email. And as soon as that shop comes up this week at some point, you guys will get the email that it is online. So make sure y'all go in here and put your emails in. And do that here, but this is where it will be at once it comes online. Should be hopefully here in a couple days. So definitely put your emails in. But that's where we're going to be at with that. So also, if you guys have not checked about everything else, you can see all of our lovely stuff in here. Lots of great things. All about me, my journey, all that stuff, etc. About our team as well. There's also a team application as well for anybody that is interested in joining the team. You guys can fill that out. That is up there as well. All that yummy stuff. It's all there basically. So that is what we are currently working on right now. And then there's Kindle. So yeah, it's going to be super exciting. Hopefully we'll have that announcement here in the next couple of days for you guys. That is the plan. So we love that. Let's see if our 22Z is loading in here real quick. Yeah, we're going to have some cells out there for the evening tonight. So yeah, this is going to continue to be a clustering of supercell thunderstorms through the evening here. I expect this to continue to produce severe weather this afternoon and this evening. So that's going to be what happens. Like I said, guys, risk zones for today. Here's the wide risk zone. Let me turn off the radar sight here for a second. We do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings back here into North Carolina and into Georgia. These are for wind and for hail. And then one up outside the warning box or outside of the risk zone there, just northwest of Columbia. We've got, like I said, low and severe weather risk today. This is a wind and a hail threat back down here from central Georgia all the way up to the Carolinas. Not too much of a crazy situation up there. If we zoom out here, we've got a risk zone actually that extends all the way up here into Michigan and Wisconsin. That's going to be for later on this evening here. We could see some showers and some storms, some wind and some hail fire off in those areas. We've got one little severe thunderstorm warning here into Iowa. And then majority of our risk zone for severe weather today is going to be Texas all the way up into Kansas and Nebraska here. So wind and hail going to be the biggest threats with a couple tornadoes possible. Today honestly looks to be a bigger day than the next 2 to 3 days. We're really not going to be have significant severe weather until next week gets here. And we'll talk more about that kind of down the road here. So yeah. So I'm super excited, y'all. We got a lot of cool things coming. Lots of cool things coming. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, the merch is going to be wild. It is going to be super freaking awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be better than the first time. I'll say that. A lot better. The sun and Chanute went bye-bye. Yep, it will. It will. A lot of people in Kansas and Oklahoma today are going to see multiple rounds of severe storms. It's just the setup for it. Not a lot of wind shear to keep things moving and keep things kind of one and done. It's just these storms are going to sit and they're going to stall. They're going to produce outflow boundaries, and then we're going to get, like I said, the threat for significant severe, not significant, but yeah, actually significant hail this afternoon. So. Alrighty. So like I said, guys, we're going to stay on here for a little bit. Don't know how long we'll be on today. I just wanted to get in here, chat with you guys, cover some weather for a little bit, see how you guys are doing today. Like I said, today's not that big of a severe weather day. We had a couple tornado warnings earlier. Go figure. Like I said, once we get on, they go away. It's typically how it happens more times than not. So. Hold on one sec, y'all. All right, y'all, I'm back. Sorry. I was talking to Ro about something real quick. All right, let's get back down to this storm, excuse me, in Texas that we got and see if we've got anything interesting on this. Yikes, 2.5-inch hail. All right, we're going back down here to Texas. Kermit, Texas. 2.5-inch hail. This is destructive hail. Jeez Louise. Yeah, this is some nasty, nasty, nasty hail on the storm here. So this severe thunderstorm warning is now going into New Mexico, guys. For my weather team, guess where we're going to potentially go with this storm? If this continues where it's going... Hold on. I've got to... screen share. Not screen share, but fix my thing here. Do you guys see the town that I'm talking about? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I always say that. If you know, you know. Potentially here. They're not in a risk zone, so this will be interesting to watch. Yes, sweet old Clovis. Clovis, Clovis, Clovis. Yeah, we'll see it. No radar signal, literally, though. Yeah, Clovis is known for that. They're known for their radar site going down in wild. The radar will go down in a general thunderstorm risk, and the radar will go down in a hail event. I'm not joking. It did it so many times last year. It's funny when it happens. But nevertheless, guys, severe thunderstorm warning here, damaging wind threat of 70 miles per hour and tennis ball size hail. So, like I said, you read that warning box there, and you've got gargantuan hail here. Not really gargantuan. This is gorilla size hail, but you get what I mean. This is some significant hail. So if you're in jail or jail, Kermit, if you're in jail, sorry guys, I'm just at that point today. If you're in Jal or Kermit, Texas here, or Jal, New Mexico, just be mindful here. Large hail on your doorstep here. So it's a nasty storm. Is this storm down here in Fort Stockton rotating at all? A little bit of a meso detection there. We'll see if that does anything. We do have a couple storms outside of Topeka here. Let's see what we've got here. Yikes. Actually, a nice little line of storms coming through here. Let's play this out. Kansas City, you guys are about to get whopped. Little Bowen line of storms here coming through. So you guys get that marginal damaging wind threat here and some hail potentially on the table. Well, let's see Kansas City about to get smacked with this storm. What in the world? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, so we got a severe thunderstorm warning down here into Central Texas, or not Texas, Central Kansas, guys. Y'all are going to have to bear with me today. It's just one of those days where I'm going to butcher everything, I feel like. If you're up here to east central portions of Kansas, we got a severe thunderstorm warning here for 1-inch hail, 50-mile-per-hour winds. So Lawrence getting into this here. I know, for real, Manders, for real. Got a severe thunderstorm warning here. Oh, we got a bean over here near Elizabeth. This has got hail at 1-inch, 50-mile-per-hour winds here. Kiowa, Colorado here, headed towards, was that Lyman? Yep, Limon. Hold on, y'all. I feel like it's just one thing after another today, guys. Hazel's moody today. Oh my goodness. If you guys are watching on both streams today, welcome in. I do appreciate y'all for being here. We're just covering some severe weather this afternoon here. We got some wind, some hail. We had a couple of tornadoes earlier. Since then, we've not had any warnings. Looks to be that these are becoming outflow dominant supercells as of now. We're getting kind of more to some clustering. So, what time we've been on here for about 30 minutes or so now. So we'll probably be on here till probably about 7:30ish, as long as there's not any tornado warnings or anything crazy happening. I really just wanted to get on here to talk to you guys about what we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, what we're going to be seeing going into early next week. I'm getting more and more concerned about the threat for a significant severe weather outbreak next week, and possibly even a tornado outbreak going into Monday and Tuesday from Oklahoma all the way up to Wisconsin. So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, but that's really going to be what we are eyeing towards in terms of severe weather. And then after that, May looks like it's going to start out pretty decent. We're not going to really have potentially a lot of significant severe weather, at least for the first week of May. It looks like things are, both the GFS and the European model are agreeing with a ridge setting up, which is going to allow for just a hot, big heat dome of hot air for a lot of people. So we'll take that. We'll definitely take that. So yeah, definitely going to be looking at Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. We'll see what happens. We'll talk more about that here in just a little bit in terms of that potential severe weather potential there. See if we've got this new run coming in. Yeah. Let me see if the NAM model is in range for this tomorrow. I might do a little bit of some model looking here while we watch radar for you guys. I'm pregnant. I don't need the heat. Yeah, the heat's going to come. It's going to come eventually at some point. It's going to have to. It's going to have to, sadly. It looks like this little second trough that's going to try and come in on Wednesday and Thursday is going to try and get going. We're going to have to watch that too. Yeah, definitely a ridge. We should have a ridge in place for the maybe first 2 weeks of May. Really interesting. So once next week's severe weather risk is over with, it's like May 2nd to May 9th is just like nothing. Let's hope that stays. We'll be able to get some game streams in maybe if that happens. Instead of doing weather 24/7. I love covering weather, but it feels like it's every single day. Let's see what our instability's doing. A little bit of a shift on GFS model run going for Monday afternoon. It's looking more like Iowa's going to be the sweet spot. It's going to be dependent on instability values, though, too. So we'll see. For once, we might have to talk about Ohio next week. What about Ohio, guys? I'm not joking when I say that. For once, we might actually have to cover the whole state of Ohio next week. No, not Ohio. Literally, though. Yeah, guys, if you're joining in the stream right now, we got wind, we got hail out there. Really not much other than just a lot of thunderstorms producing some wind and some hail. It's not anything too crazy. Just have your car covered up, etc. We haven't had a tornado warning in about 30 minutes to an hour now. So like I said, my plan is to stay on here. If we don't get any more tornado warnings here for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to start to walk y'all through kind of what we're looking at next week. Kind of get y'all prepared, and then we'll probably hop off stream for a little bit. I've had a feeling once we got on that all of this would start to fall apart. Yeah, hide your cars for real. I'm gonna chase next week. Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go. No, this week. Heck yeah. Yeah, if you guys do chase, definitely good chasing weather this week, especially in the plains. All right, guys, Rochelle messaged me. She wants to know, do you guys want a Jenny Purr hoodie or t-shirt? Absolutely. Neck. You're getting your answers, babe. T-shirt, babe. Mostly. Dad says t-shirt too. Bet. Beba bet. Heck yeah. All right. Well, there's your answers, Roro. If you want to do both too, you can. It's up to you, love. It's up to you what you want to do on that. Alrighty, guys. Let's talk here. Let's run over some things here. Let's talk. Let's talk about next week. I think I've got enough information. Actually, hold on. Let me look at one more thing here. Sunday still has my attention. Yeah, Sunday has my attention. We'll have to watch Sunday evening, and then Monday. Let me see if the NAM is in range. Okay, not quite yet. All right, yeah, here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk over models. We're going to talk here for a minute. Let's have a chat, y'all. Let's have a chat here. Let's go European. Let's go 12Z. Let's go troughing. All right, so I'm going to run over the risk zones for the rest of the week here so you guys can kind of get an idea. We'll talk about this here. Actually, I think we just got a tornado warning. Hold on a minute. We did get a tornado warning. I don't know why the overlay didn't catch it because I turned my overlay off. We have a tornado warning, guys, here in just east of Scott City. Let me actually see. I think we have a camera for this. So hold the thought on the discussion. I have my overlay turned off. I don't know why that was turned off. Let me see if I can get a camera up for this area because we had one just a second ago. This thing is nasty. Look at that thing. So once again, guys, this is east of Scott City here. We've got that tornado warning in effect here in Kansas. Yeah, we have a couple cameras. I think that if they work. Oh, they're not going to work. Hold on. Where is this going towards? Utica? Yeah, the weather does that every time. Never fails. Well, too bad. We're not going to get a visual on this one here. Let me see if I can get another website here. Hold on a minute. Because this is just south of I-70. Gavin, it's called WSV3. Well, darny darn. I thought I was going to find one for you guys. Regardless of that, tornado warning, guys. Here for, this is just to the east of Scott City, Kansas. Radar indicated tornado warning here. Velocity is also there as well. We are seeing that spin. That rotation is definitely present. Let me draw back up here so you guys can see again. So this warning is out until 7. So we got 30 minutes on this warning. So that's going to be where the rotation is at right there. You've got your wind, your green inflow, your outflow. Boom. That's where your rotation is at. So please be seeking shelter, guys, if you're in this warning. See if we have a correlation on this. Ooh. Yep, so make sure you guys are in your safest places here. This is just north of Dighton, Kansas. This is also just west of Utica. So we're in west central Kansas right now, technically, is where this warning is at. Yeah, there's definitely lots of gate-to-gate shear with this, and you can see where that bigger couplet is going to be at. Gate-to-gate shear just kind of gives us an idea of where that actual rotation is at. So this is just south of Highway 4, west of Dighton. So surprised we were actually getting a couple warnings out of this today. Well, shear is not really that impressive. Been interesting. All right, guys, I have to crack open an energy drink. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to. I wish we could get sponsored by Alani. I go through these things like cotton candy. That'd be crazy. Excuse me, y'all. We have pepper. We have the purrs. You're adorable. Jennifer! Alright, goodbye. Just get yeet on the bed. Thank you, Haley Nicole, for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, once again, guys, that's where our rotation is at on this tornado warning. Please be seeking shelter if you're in this warning here in West Central Kansas. Please, 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 I beg of you. Yeah, depth on this thing is actually pretty decent as well. Let me go back and relook at reflectivity and see if we've got anything a little bit different on this. And we'll check base velocity again. So I want to mention something, guys. So these areas of rotation, these supercells that do try to produce tornadoes today, they're going to be very brief spin ups. We don't have a lot of low level shear to help support like long track tornadoes today. So we're going to be brief when these warnings come out. Just seek shelter, do what you need to do, be safe. But we shouldn't have a lot of these today. I think this is the third one we've seen today so far. So we can save the tornado day for another time. So once again, that warning test will 7 p.m. Central Time. DFW is not expecting anything today. No, you guys are good. You guys are good. So we're gonna leave this up here and we'll just kind of watch velocity and see what it does. You do have some brighter colors though. You're starting to see a little bit more some stronger inflow. So this should get squeezed out. This is going to become an outflow dominant or an inflow dominant storm. So this is going to start to weaken out. At least it should, kind of compared to what we've been doing with this. Let's kind of go back here and see when the warning got issued. Yeah, very, very brief spin up. Do we still have that storm down in Texas? 1.25-inch hail. Yeah, so they downgraded those. So this is where our main, like I said, main tornado risk is going to be at. So as I mentioned, guys, most of these storms, very brief spin-up tornado potential. You can kind of see we've got some elevated rotation over east of Tribune, and then just north of this tornado warning, some elevated rotation, then where this tornado is briefly spinning up at, just east of Scott City. So, like I said, not a big tornado day, mostly dominant wind and hail. Okay. There's a Torpos in southwest of Amarillo. All right, let me go take a look over here. I don't see a Torpos. Yeah, this one's not Torpos. Wait, no, that's the warning. Yeah, wait, hold on. Oh, that's the old warning. That's gonna, well, no, they're the same warning. Never mind. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one there. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of rotation here. Mesocyclone developing just south of Hereford, Texas here, west of Happy. Yeah, not a lot of rotation. It's there. That's what they with the Torpos sign on it. It's definitely there. Not a lot of ridiculous rotation. Like I said, a lot of these too are gonna be land spouts. You'll get these brief spin up tornadoes here in the plains. They call them land spouts, basically in a nutshell, is what we get with these. Braden, as of right now, Monday next week will be. But over the next couple days, no. So we'll keep an update on that. So once again, guys, I appreciate y'all for hanging out today. We might get on here again tonight and do another live stream and do some weather talking. It'd probably be closer to 10 to 11. If I feel I need to get on here, I'll get back on here. So, all right, why this tornado warning is out? Let's go to comparison here. Yeah, this still has some pretty decent gate-to-gate shear on it. So you can see where that shear is, that wind shear is trying to potentially produce a tornado here. There might actually be... No, that's hail. That's hail. Never mind. Oh, there we go. New Mexico. Go figure. This is the first severe thunderstorm warning I've ever called out this year for the state of New Mexico. So 2-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. We've got Eunice Airport, Jal, Bennett, and Oil Center and Jal Airport there. So that is going to be for 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, or 70-mile-per-hour winds, sorry. So, yeah, guys, if I get off, I'll get back on if we need to. With these events, kind of like yesterday, I just really wanted to get on here to talk to you guys and update you guys. These wind and hail events and these occasional tornado events, it's very, very hard from a weather streamer side to get on and stream because okay, I'm not going to say this because this is not what I mean by it. I'll cover severe weather, you guys know that, but when it comes to like a wind and an isolated hail threat, kind of something like this where we've got just no storm movement, nothing's moving around. Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas is normal to seeing this, so it's not like that big of a deal. If we were looking at like an elevated higher tornado risk or looking at like a significant damaging wind event or like a very, very, very large hail event past 3 inches, like, yeah, clearly there's something there. So, I want to save majority of my energy for next week, which is going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, where we'll probably be on here for about 14 to 20 hours each day doing coverage for each day. Whereas of today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, it's very, very low in risk zones. So I try to pick my battles when it comes to streaming, doing coverage for you guys. We're gonna get on here every single night regardless and do a weather update and talk as always. But in terms of like how I try to like line my streams out when it's days like this and it's very conditional and, you know, we're in the plains and we've got, you know, wind and hail going on, people don't listen, and two, it's normal to them. So, all right, Rose said to check my email. Hold on. Sorry, I'll hold on 1 second. I'm trying to fix something real quick. All right, guys. Ro got the design for the Jenny Purr shirt. Hold on a second. I'll let you guys see this real quick. Hold on just a minute. This is the design for the Jenny Purr shirt. How about that? Oh, it doesn't show it all the way. Hold on, hold on. There we go. It'll say Jenny. Oh, I can't. It doesn't show the Purr at the bottom because I don't have the thing up. Hold on a second. There, you guys can see it. So that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, I'm excited. That's just a merch idea. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm so excited. Like Ro is crushing it. She's absolutely crushing it. We love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. All right, so this storm is now up to 2-inch diameter hail almost. Yeah, guys, once this warning gets going here, we'll talk about really briefly model runs and then kind of go from there. Give me 10 of them right now. I love it. Yeah, guys, the storms that's over here in Kansas, the eastern Kansas storm, this is for wind and hail. I'm not expecting any tornadoes up here in and around eastern Kansas. It's going to be wind and hail. We've got a line of storms that's approaching Kansas City here. If you're outside of that line of storms, you're fine. This is going to go this direction here. They may actually have to extend that marginal out if need be, but this is where we're going to be watching this line go through. I'm not expecting this to produce any tornadoes or any of that. Going to be fine. It's really western Kansas that's got the tornado risk today. So, thank you guys for all the gifts, by the way. Also, guys, if you guys ever, this is if you want to, you guys don't have to. If anybody ever wants to just actually donate to me and not through TikTok, you guys see where it says pp.mesomat? That's my PayPal. TikTok doesn't like that, but we're gonna say it anyways. So if y'all ever want to donate in real time, like actually you guys can. It's there. So I don't know if anybody ever knew that or not, but that's down there on the bottom left if y'all ever want to. So once again, down to 1.5 inch hail, Torpos sign here. On this, we'll go back and look at velocity. Still a little bit of rotation on this storm here. Not looking at anything too crazy. That is true, though, Katie. That is true. Yeah, I've still got some gate-to-gate shear on here. I don't know how we're getting 94 knot outflow winds. That's not right. There we go. There's a new update. Connor was doing ASMR on his live stream last night, and it was freaking hilarious. I loved it. All right, guys, let me go ahead and hop over here for a minute and kind of talk about what we're going to see here briefly in a nutshell. Let me see if 23Z. Okay, 23Z is not loading in, so... we'll probably be on here again tomorrow, late tomorrow night. It'll depend. For any of y'all that do not know, tomorrow is the NFL draft. It is day one. I'm a huge Carolina Panthers fan. Y'all can like me or not for that. I'm going to be watching the draft tomorrow night. So tomorrow, the good news is we don't have but a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow. Very low end. I do think that there is a chance for a small, slight risk that could be issued here for this area for an upgraded tornado risk. We'll see what happens with SPC tonight and see what they do. If models trend, models don't trend. That plays a big role in overall. But tomorrow, here's that risk zone marginal risk from eastern Colorado down into Kansas. I'm not going to answer specific locations because you guys should know how to read a map. You should know where you live on a map. Just look at the risk zones that I'm telling you guys about. But in terms of where that's going to be at, tornado risk tomorrow, I believe is a 2%. Yeah, 2% tornado risk already tomorrow for western Oklahoma, eastern portions of Texas, and southern Kansas, and then wind and hail threat are for both. We go to the day 3 forecast as well here, and we've got what is going to be another marginal risk, and it should be just this area right in here. Should be Oklahoma and Texas, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so once again, Oklahoma and Texas on day 3. That's going to be for Friday. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, that'll be for Friday's outlook there. Probabilistic categories are going to be wind and hail. Maybe a brief tornado. Yeah, not seeing much on that there. It's as we go into the weekend and into next week where things get a little bit more interesting. Currently right now, we do not have a day 4 outlook. So this is 4 days out in advance. We don't have a day 4 outlook, but I will mention the Storm Prediction Center does have a day 6 and a day 7. You guys can see that there. Like I said, looking at a day 4 outlook. Why is it doing this? SPC, come on. Yeah, day 4 outlook there. If we do get any type of severe weather on day 4, it's probably going to be, once again, the same exact area here that we've been watching for the last couple of days. I will say Sunday will be interesting. We need to watch Sunday and see what happens with that there. Is there a tornado on the ground now? Hold on a minute. Who confirmed the tornado that was on the ground? The velocity is there. I don't think it's on the ground, though. I haven't seen it change. Will, who's the storm chaser? Because I can double check on that. Let me pull up my phone here. Hold on a minute. Probably a damn land spout. I don't see any chasers in the area that are on that storm. That's not a debris sig. That's a hail. That is a hail signature, not debris. Yeah, that is straight up hail. All of this is hail. Yeah, this is all hail. There is not a debris signature on that. At least as of right now, there's not. Yeah, it's still the Kansas storm. I'm double checking here. Hold on. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it yet. Anyways, we'll keep an eye out on that. I'm gonna go back to what I was saying here a second ago. Day 5 will be Sunday. We don't have a day 5 outlook yet. I do think once we get closer, again, there probably will be some type of conditional slight risk that gets added somewhere in this area. We'll see what happens with that. But I want to talk about Monday and Tuesday because Monday and Tuesday are going to be our significant days. Currently, right now, the Storm Prediction Center does have a day 6 outline. You guys remember yesterday when we were talking on stream, this is where that risk zone stopped at. It wasn't down here in Kansas. It wasn't down here in Oklahoma. This got extended last night. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we are probably going to wake up tomorrow morning. Remember this, guys. Please remember this for the 93 of y'all that are watching here on TikTok and everybody else on YouTube. Please remember this. We are probably going to wake up tomorrow to a orange shaded area somewhere in here for an enhanced level 3 out of 5 risk. I think that is coming tomorrow. I think we've got enough consistency in terms of the Euro and the GFS for where this is going to be at. I think a level 3 enhanced risk will be at play tomorrow somewhere in that vicinity here. Could be as far down south as Oklahoma, could be as far north as Wisconsin. We'll have to see what they do. The European model paints a classic potential tornado outbreak scenario in Oklahoma, in Kansas, in Missouri, and then the GFS paints a classic tornado outbreak picture in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So still got a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of what's going to happen with that. Yeah, that's going to be on Monday. This is Monday's forecast here. I wouldn't, like I said, be shocked to see that. And then we go towards the day 7 outlook, and now we've got the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, down in towards the plains again. Same areas again is in effect here for Tuesday next week. We've got Northeast Texas all the way up here to Michigan in the threat. So I also think a level 3 enhanced risk could be somewhere issued in this corridor. We'll have to see once mesoscale features get a little bit closer to that there. Now, the big driving force here on why we're going to see the significant severe weather episode, I'm going to talk here about the troughing that we're going to see. This is our jet stream right now. You can see, as I mentioned in my videos every day, we've got this kind of meridional jet stream here. You've got this flowing jet stream moving across the United States here, very, very weak. Just got a little disturbances kind of kinked in here, giving us what we see, or giving us this severe weather threat that we're seeing every single day across the central and southern plains. So you get that waviness with a little bit of shear, you're going to get severe weather. It's going to happen. I want you guys to pay attention here. As we go into Friday and Saturday, we're actually going to have an organized system start to merge here or become negatively tilted and move off of the Rockies. By Sunday at 18Z, we're going to stop it right here. Sunday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, we've got a dominant high-pressure system ongoing over here in the southeast and the lower Ohio Valley. Got a system over here. This isn't going to do too much. We're going to have to watch. We've got enough potential southwesterly flow here that we could see a decent little setup here emerge off the Rockies. I want to watch this very, very closely on Sunday. There is going to be a capping inversion in place, which is a temperature inversion aloft that prohibits storms from basically firing off until storms can become, strong enough and high enough ecotop-wise to break that cap is when that will happen. But there will be some flow, and I do think the Storm Prediction Center, whether they go marginal or slight for this on Sunday, we're going to have to watch this for a conditional potential tornado day here. So that would be on Sunday, but then I want you guys to watch this. Sunday night into Monday, that trough's going to eject, and it's actually going to intensify, and by Monday afternoon, say around 21Z, we've got a surface low up here into portions of the Dakotas, and then a surface low down here. We're going to have two different modes of severe weather on Monday. We're going to have the surface low up here in the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, and then we're going to have a cold front that's going to extend to the dry line back down here into Oklahoma. I personally think, this is just my thoughts, kind of seeing what we're seeing now. The greater tornado risk is going to be up here into Iowa, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and Minnesota, at least as of right now, personally. And then we're going to have a large hail, damaging wind threat, and a tornado threat that's a little bit lower end down here into Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. It's just going to be dependent on how much forcing overcomes with the boundary that's going to move through on Monday. So this is what we're going to have to watch. There's going to be two different modes. I'm not going to speculate on moderate or high risk zones right now. This is definitely not a high risk event. I'm going to say why, because the troughing is garbage. This is not a perfect troughing setup. You're not going to get that everything you need to come together for a high risk. As a moderate on the table, let's see if we get an enhanced risk first, and I'll kind of mention that in a later outlook, but we can't really get to a moderate risk until mesoscale features are introduced. So we'll talk about that in future videos and in future discussions. But then we get into Tuesday here. Jet stream's still cranking, and the more significant severe weather threat on Tuesday might actually be Monday night into Tuesday morning here. And then by Tuesday afternoon, we've kind of got this leftover cold front here. I think Monday's the main day, Tuesday's the day after. And so we're going to have a southwesterly to west easterly flow here, giving us the threat for some type of severe weather up and down the Ohio Valley, maybe even as far as down here into Texas and Oklahoma. So that'll be on Tuesday. And then I want you guys to see this. Watch this. Ready? A little bit of a surface low trying to develop coming down here out of the southeast here. And then I want you guys to see, this is where we started April out with. We had a high pressure system dominating. Things are going to become quiet again. I don't expect a lot of severe weather really anywhere going into the first official week of May, other than what's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. We're going to have a northwesterly flow over a ridge. I expect wind and hail every single day in the Ohio Valley, potentially going into next week here. We're going to have that northwesterly flow is going to be back again. Dew points will be just sufficient enough to produce some marginal hail days, probably some marginal damaging wind days, maybe a brief tornado. We saw this literally last week, not even a week ago. So we'll have to watch that, but things are going to be quiet over on the west and the central plains. Things will be a little bit more active and at least cooler temperature-wise as we see these major troughs come in. We're going to really have to watch this coming in potentially into the 5th of May, and after that, things get a little bit more uncertain, and we start to maybe see the plains in the May setup start to kind of come in. So that's a good thing. We'll take that. If we can just get through next Wednesday, I think we'll have a little bit of a couple-day break here in terms of like significant severe weather. Can't say we're not going to have severe weather, but at least a break. And then after that, May might come roaring in back online in terms of the second and third week. So in terms of like our ingredients in the atmosphere, what we need to support for severe weather here, instability values are going to be there every day this week. And then especially going into Monday, guys, we're going to see these instability values. They're going to be up there. Let's just stop it right here. Monday afternoon at peak heating, if this is what the instability values are going to be Monday afternoon, we will have ourselves a significant severe weather outbreak from Texas all the way up to Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin by Monday evening. That is the area here. We are talking the European is spitting out 5,000 to 6,000 joules per kilogram of instability. That is like triple, quadruple the amount of instability you need in the atmosphere to support severe weather. We are overdone, and this goes as far as, you know, Iowa, we've got Minnesota up here. So we're going to have to watch. And like I said, with 2 surface lows developing, 2 different tornado events potentially happening, damaging winds, large hail, there's just a lot of things that still have to be figured out for this event. But the European is holding very, very strong in terms of that significant potential here. We'll just take a sounding here out of western Oklahoma. And what do you get? 82 over 69, surface-based Cape at 4,900, and then a little decent amount of shear to give yourself a beautiful tornado setup. So classic dryline, classic tornado potential. I'm not going to say we're going to get a tornado outbreak yet. I want to, give it a couple more days and see some mesoscale features. I don't like to pull that plug unless I'm pretty confident in that personally. But then, we'll have to see what happens. And then going into Tuesday, we'll have instability across the Ohio Valley here. It extends all the way again down into Texas. So we're going to have to watch a pretty big area on Tuesday at some point here. So really, guys, these next 3 days of severe weather, as I'm mentioning here, are going to be on the lower end. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week is going to be our big event. That's going to be what we're talking about. So we'll keep you guys updated on all of that there. We'll kind of go in more in depth on this in future videos, all of that, etc. But I want you guys to be weather aware there that we're going to be seeing that not too long here in the distant future. Let me see if our 18Z is still cranking it out. Oh yeah, 18Z, wow. That's the model run that just came in. Look at the dry line. This thing is so sharp. Very significant forcing in on this dry line here. This is going to be some of the most highest instability values we've seen all year long this year too. So like I said, significant potential for severe weather at tap here. I'm going to take a sounding out of western Wisconsin. Not a bad sounding. Actually, that's really not a bad sounding at all. Pretty decent SKU-T, pretty decent hodograph. 72 over 65, elevated mixed layer at 12 kilometers. A little bit, I mean, we've got lots of instability, so this isn't going to be an issue. We're not going to have an issue with these storms, I don't think, unless a capping inversion sets up, and we'll see what happens with that there. So have to wait for the NAM to get rid. Oh my God, no. No. That is just outside of Oklahoma City at Monday night at 6 p.m. That is not an ideal thing that I want to see right there. Yikes. I hope Steph is watching this. PDS Tor sounding. Golly, I'm gonna take a picture of that. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, that was that's impressive. That is a very impressive sounding. Wow. 80 over 71 surface-based Cape at 4,800. Guys, it doesn't get much better than that right there. Beautiful hodograph. Your wind barbs are out of the southwest here all the way up parallel. You start to see that directional change once you get to the middle levels of the atmosphere, and then right down at the surface, bending, surface low, doing its thing there around Oklahoma City. on Sunday. So, or not Sunday, but Monday. But sheesh Louise. The next couple days, guys, is gonna be wild. Especially on Monday and Tuesday. So, that's basically what I'm getting at is until we get closer to this event, we're not going to know, like I said, where the higher tornado parameters are at. None of that's going to probably be Friday or Saturday before we start to talk about that. But golly. That's where I took that sounding at, guys. Why don't we actually, while I'm thinking about this here, let's take some soundings here out of this. I think that was the last run on the Euro. No, that's Tuesday. Let's go to Monday. There we go. So look at these. These are the instability values on the European model run. This is the newest Euro that just came in for Monday afternoon setup. And then we have Jenny Purr that comes over. Let's go down here into Texas and take a sounding. It's a marginal. It's not too tornado favorability. It's got enough for an isolated tornado, but damaging winds and hail probably a bigger threat. Yep, same here. Surface low is a little bit weaker. Let me go back up here into southwestern Oklahoma. A little bit better. A little bit better there on that sounding. Where did I find that? Where was that PDS at? Guys, I want to explain something too. The STP rates, these significant tornado parameters, are like maxed out next Monday in Oklahoma right now. They are maxed out. It does not go higher than that. You see that little bar that I have circled down here? They are maxed out again. Literally again. This is very, very concerning. Laney, oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's definitely on its way. Like, STP is maxed out on almost every one of these soundings closer to that dry line. We'll go up here into northern Oklahoma. Yeah, there's the PDS tour again. Yep. So, very, very favorable. And the fact that we're going to have to watch for tornadoes basically from Texas that same day on Monday all the way up to Wisconsin. Going to be a very elongated area here for potential. So, yeah, I think Monday has a very, very high ceiling, low floor, meaning if everything doesn't come together, then, you know, nothing happens in terms of, like, significant tornado potential and all of that. We know we're going to have a damaging wind threat. We know we're going to have a hail threat, all of that, etc. Let me take a look at Tuesday afternoon because we're going to do it again on Tuesday. You can see there's another little surface low down here in Texas. Yeah, that's going to be for hail. Take one down here into southeast Texas. Yeah, most of it looks like it's going to be hail down here. Let's go up to the Ohio Valley in the Midwest here. Golly, Western Kentucky, Southern Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. I'm not favorable of Michigan looks not the greatest right now on Tuesday afternoon. I don't like the way that hodograph is all of your wind shear is the same direction. It's not going to support too much of tornado potential. Let's go to northern Indiana here and take a look. Yeah, same thing here. I wonder if this is going to be more of a damaging wind threat and a hail threat on Tuesday than a tornado risk. Let's go into central Kentucky. Yeah, so Kentucky would be a little bit more favorable, not super, super crazy, but you can see your wind shear. You can see those wind barbs changing all the way down to the surface there. So be a little bit more favorable for tornadoes in Kentucky. Go figure, guys, right? Go figure. We're trying to stream a severe weather outbreak, and we don't get ruled out of it every time. So, Kansas City, you guys are seeing storms tonight. You'll have the threat for significant severe weather on Monday. So potential for a severe weather outbreak on Monday for Kansas City. Possibly, maybe even a couple tornadoes. We'll have to see. So basically what I'm getting at, guys, is you need to be weather aware. If you're not, we're going to have a pretty next couple rough days to get through here. I expect this to be a pretty significant event for a lot of people. Let's go and take a sounding here. Let's go northern Iowa and see. Oh my God. That is gorgeous. That is just northeast of Des Moines there. Golly. We are cranking out the PDS tours today. It's a PDS tour machine. So 76 over 67, beautiful cape there. A little bit of some skinny cape at the mid-levels there, but not anything too disturbing there. But you can see beautiful, beautiful wind direction change with height all the way down to the surface of your atmosphere there. This is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem there. Ohio, we'll have to watch for you guys for a conditional tornado risk, I think, on Tuesday. I'll know more on Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, the Ohio Valley there on hopefully by Friday and Saturday. That's my game plan on that. I got you, Danica. Let's go Des Moines here, west of Des Moines. Pretty decent tour. The problem is going to be, looks like a little bit of a capping here. I don't know if that's going to hold or not. We'll see. When was this sounding taken? Hold on. Let's go back just a little bit. Let's go towards peak heating here. Yeah, it looks like some capping issues. We'll see if that holds. You're going to be right along the surface low too, so that capping should break. Your low is going to be literally right there. Yeah, let's wait for middle range models to get in, and I can let y'all know a little bit more on that. Odessa, Texas, you guys have wind and hail today and tomorrow. I saw that too, Connor. I'm not a fan of that either. I think we're gonna get something pretty big on Monday. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever, honestly. I'm about sick of having big weather events. I really am at this point. So we'll see what happens, guys. I'm going to wrap stream up here in just a minute, so that way I can get off here and possibly eat some dinner because I'm hungry again, and I don't know why. We're going to continue to see showers and storms. It looks like Oklahoma and Texas, at least for the rest of the evening, should be mostly on the quieter side. The panhandle should start to die out here soon. By the overnight hours, we'll probably have this little MCS moving through southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma through the overnight hours, but most of the severe weather threats should be on the downside once midnight gets here. We'll have occasional wind and hail out there, but other than that, like I said, no tornado warnings, nothing, all of that, etc. I don't know if I'll get on here again tonight, guys. We'll see. I'll have videos out tomorrow morning once again. I'll have a stream for you guys. Not a stream. We'll do our stream tomorrow. I will not have a live stream tomorrow, at least as of right now, for weather coverage. There's just not going to be that big of a threat for tomorrow, at least as of now. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. But I'll be on here late tomorrow night giving y'all an update. Probably around 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time. It just depends on when the NFL draft goes off. So I'm going to be watching that tomorrow night. So I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure y'all pay attention to the videos that I put out. It kind of explains in a nutshell everything. If you guys have not subscribed to me on YouTube as well, make sure y'all do that. Also, if you have not gone to my official website, mesomattwx.com, that link is in my bio. Go to the merch tab and sign up to get email alerts. We'll be having the merch hopefully come out here very, very, very soon. You can sign up with that email to get the alert when that happens. Yeah. We've got some significant severe weather on the way here before things start to kind of quiet down just a little bit, and then, we'll see how May progresses. So, yep, YouTube is Mesomat. I do appreciate you guys for the gifts today, the love, the taps, the follows. If you have not followed, hit that follow button. And if you haven't subbed on YouTube, make sure y'all go sub on YouTube. So, all right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Wednesday, guys, and be safe.